Hello! So this is a bit of a different video to usual, because for a start you can actually see my face and this will be for the majority of the video, but also this is our very first film review. Do excuse me if I weirdly lose eye contact with you. Your camera is a tiny dot on my phone and there's a giant screen of me on the other side, so I'm kind of tempted to look there sometimes. But today the plan is we are covering The Incredibles 2. We're currently driving down to the cinema now, and the plan for this whole video is, on the way there's a little bit of predictions that I plan to do, along with analyses of the last final little film clips that we've seen up to the release date. And then once we've seen the film, obviously I'm going to cut that out of this video, we'll then talk of our first impressions and then hopefully review it as well. So first things first, the analysing clips. There were a last few 5 extra trailers since our last analysis video, and if I can remember correctly, there's a lot of little clips but not a lot of major content. Naturally I've forgotten. Well, that was a good start. My alarm just went off and interrupted the whole video, but I had a bit more time to work out the actual clips. So one of the clips we saw was the Supers meeting the Devas for the first time in the little presentation. From that, there wasn't much more to see, other than that the prediction that Elastigirl has a camera on her suit and on her motorcycle was true. The whole rant that Winston actually goes on is about seeing what the superheroes do and the fight scene they're in. We also, I believe, basically find out that the woman in the background is Evelyn Dever, Winston's sister and the mastermind behind everything. She's the one that made the technology for the cameras that is used for the suit and the motorcycle. We also later on see a scene with Elastigirl meeting all these new superheroes. Again, we see Evelyn in a bit more of a casual wear system. This, I imagine, is from the ceremony scene that we see Elastigirl in with a limousine and everyone cheering for her. This is where the superheroes meet with a new kind of initiative together, and it's where there's that kind of new interaction with the new characters. I don't really think there's much else to see here, other than that Screecher is looking out the window at the beginning and only ever seems to say, "Who?" So there's a little thing for you. There were little montages as well of just very, very minor clips, one of which was, what's his name? Tony Ridinger, that's the one. He is in some kind of shopping system, as is the rest of the family, and there's a very short clip of Violet introducing him to the rest of the family. He's the waiter that's serving them at some sort of location. Mr. Incredibles is also wearing a polo shirt, and it looks green to me, and I don't remember him wearing a green shirt, so this might be on day 3 when he's usually only ever seen wearing robes, or it's a weird colouring of day 1 when he's wearing a blue polo shirt. Otherwise, I have no idea when that takes place. There's also a clip of Violet at school with Tony Ridinger, and she looks pretty happy-chappy, but because of the Underminer scene from beforehand, I think what's actually happened is Tony Ridinger's memory of her has been completely wiped because of the superhero exposure. So this is the moment where she realizes that Tony Ridinger doesn't know her, and this leads her into wanting to destroy her suit and go into an adolescent rage. Other clips we saw was Elastigirl driving along a kind of major curve. That was part of the train scene I believe we saw in the first trailer. There was also a clip of the kids in a shield sphere flying through the air. I only saw it once in passing and I don't have a clue where that is, but I'm sure if I took a screenshot everyone could work it out. I just can barely remember the footage. Other footage I'm kind of going hazy on. I'm starting to forget if there was any more extra clips, but there was one of Violet and Dash in a small little metal compartment, as presumably another part of the cruise, with Dash running ahead saying, "Come on, let's go," and then they do. He's wearing the backpack, so we know it's that sort of cruise timeline where Jack's gone missing. There's also a clip of Dash running into a room and he's got a remote in his hand. I think this might be connected to the day 3 events where a wet Mr. Incredibles ripped the remote out of him. Oh, another thing was Elastigirl's note telling her to go to the garage. We saw an extension of that with the motorcycle scene, and we could see that Evelyn was the one that made the note for her and that she's the one that made the motorcycle. She's clearly the one behind the mastermind of all the technology in the thing. Another thing that was pointed out for me for an earlier trailer was the scene with Elastigirl jumping to a helicopter has a plane wing, not 2 helicopters in that scene. And we're at a traffic light, so it's very entertaining for the background. Okay, so we're just about here, and I didn't really get to talk about any predictions, but I guess they come in my analyses that I've given. Here we are. I can't flip the camera. Just give me a moment. Da-na-na-na. It doesn't say Incredibles 2.